Right now, while your F-150 sits in the driveway, locked, dark, and apparently asleep, it might be wide awake, talking to a cell tower, downloading software, checking in with the cloud like a teenager who can't put the phone down. And somewhere under the hood, a very old-school piece of hardware is paying the bill for all that modern connectivity. Your alternator and the 12-volt battery it spends its life protecting. So, here's today's question. Can invisible lines of code, silent software downloads you never see happen, actually wear out the charging hardware in your truck? The answer is more interesting than a simple yes or no, because while software can't reach out and grab your alternator, it can absolutely set up the chain of events that makes your charging system work harder than it was ever supposed to. Today we're tracing that chain, link by link, from a truck that never really sleeps, to a battery quietly running down, to an alternator picking up the tab. Has your Ford ever greeted you with a dead battery, a failed update message, or a mystery no start after sitting for a few days? Tell us in the comments, we might feature your story in our next video. And if this video saves you a tow truck call, smash that like button and subscribe. Let's get into it. The truck that never sleeps. Here's the biggest change to pickup trucks in the last decade, and it has nothing to do with horsepower. Your grandfather's truck was electrically dead the moment he pulled the key. Park it for a month, come back, it starts. A modern Ford is a different animal entirely. It's a rolling network of computers, body control module, gateway modules, sync, powertrain controllers, telematics, battery monitoring, dozens of modules, all wired together, all capable of waking up. And a connected truck has reasons to wake up. Cellular check-ins, remote start readiness, keyless entry monitoring, security, Ford Pass, and yes, over-the-air update readiness. When an update is pending, the truck has to authenticate itself, communicate with Ford servers, download firmware packages, store them, and eventually program modules and restart systems. The architecture has shifted from sleep when parked to periodically wake, communicate, and go back to sleep. And here's the engineering subtlety. The problem isn't one big power draw. It's many small ones stacking up over hours and days. One module wakes, the network chatter wakes its neighbors, and suddenly your parked truck is holding a meeting at 3 in the morning. When everything works as designed, the truck naps efficiently and you never notice. But software doesn't always work as designed, and Ford has issued software updates specifically addressing conditions where vehicles weren't properly entering their low-power sleep state, including gateway software for recent F-150s and Lightnings aimed at exactly this kind of parasitic drain while parked. Which brings us to the first victim in this story, and it's not the alternator. The 12-volt bottleneck. Time to bust the misconception this whole topic sits on. The alternator charges everything. Not quite. While you're driving, sure, the alternator carries the load and tops up the battery. But every minute your truck spends awake while parked, engine off, all of that module activity is drinking from one source only, the 12-volt battery. The alternator isn't even in the room. It can't help until the engine is running. And here's the detail that surprises Lightning owners most. Even an electric truck with an enormous high-voltage battery still depends on a humble 12-volt battery to run its computers, relays, and security systems. A healthy big battery does not guarantee a healthy little one, and the little one is the gatekeeper. Owners have reported failed updates, connectivity dropouts, 12-volt warnings, and even no-start conditions on trucks whose main battery was practically full. So picture the sequence on any modern Ford. The truck sits, modules wake more often than they should. The 12-volt battery drains quietly, a little at a time. Nothing dramatic, no sparks, no drama. Just a battery that's a bit lower every morning than the engineering assumed it would be. Then you turn the key, and now the alternator enters the story. The chain reaction. Ford's charging systems aren't the dumb, always-on alternators of the carburetor era. They're smart charge systems. The vehicle computer actively manages alternator output based on battery condition, temperature, electrical demand, and driving state. It's clever engineering. It saves fuel. It also means the alternator does whatever the recovery situation demands. So follow the chain. OTA and connectivity activity keeps modules awake. The 12-volt battery gets drawn down. The engine starts with a low state of charge. The smart charge system sees a hungry battery and commands high alternator output to refill it. High output means high current, and high current means heat. Heat is the real character in this story. Ask what actually kills alternators and the list is consistent. Excessive heat, heavy current loads, high duty cycles, poor connections, and over time thermal cycling. Every hard recovery event heats components up. Every shutdown cools them down. Expansion, contraction, again and again. Rectifier diodes, solder joints, voltage regulators, all of them age faster in a hot, hard-working environment. One low battery morning is nothing. Your charging system shrugs it off, but a truck that starts with a run-down battery over and over, month after month, is living a harder electrical life than an identical truck that sleeps properly. Same alternator, same rating, one of them working overtime shifts it never signed up for. That's the real mechanism, not a lightning bolt from the software. A workload problem created upstream by a truck that won't stop checking its messages. The voltage spike theory, what's proven and what isn't. Now, the dramatic version of this story, the one you'll see in comment sections, goes like this. OTA downloads trigger voltage spikes that physically fry alternator diodes across the fleet. Let's be straight with you, because that's what this channel does. That specific claim has not been proven. There's no public teardown study, no fleet data, no documentation showing OTA downloads, producing damaging voltage spikes. And mechanically, a software download doesn't command the alternator at all while the truck is parked. The engine isn't even running during most of it. What the evidence does support is everything we just walked through. Connected Fords can have module sleep problems documented and addressed in Ford's own software fixes. Weak 12-volt batteries and failed updates go hand in hand, widely reported by owners. Low voltage recovery events push smart charge systems into higher workloads. That's simply how the system operates. And heat plus thermal cycling ages charging hardware, that's textbook electronics. So the honest verdict, the software isn't shooting your alternator, it's overscheduling it. And if you ever suspect your charging system is genuinely suffering, there's a proper test for it. A failing rectifier diode produces excess AC ripple, a signature a technician can measure right at the battery with the engine running. Flickering lights, electrical noise in the radio, a battery warning light, a battery that keeps dying, those are the symptoms that earn a ripple test at a competent shop. 5 minutes with the right meter beats 100 forum arguments. The chicken and egg problem. Here's the twist that makes this topic genuinely fun and genuinely tricky to diagnose. OTA updates usually require a healthy 12-volt battery before they'll install. The truck checks the battery's state of charge, and if it doesn't like what it sees, the update fails or postpones. So when an owner says the update killed my battery, there's a real forensic question hiding underneath. Did the update drain the battery, or did an already weak battery sabotage the update? Because a tired battery can kick off a genuinely comic feedback loop. The battery is marginal, so the update fails. The truck retries, waking up, calling home, checking again. More wake cycles mean more drain. More drain means the battery is even less ready next time. Around and around, your truck's stuck in a doom loop of trying to improve itself, like someone repeatedly snoozing an alarm and wondering why they're still tired. The practical takeaway? In this story, the battery isn't just a victim. Sometimes it's the instigator, which is exactly why the fix starts there. How to protect your truck. Good news, you don't need an oscilloscope in your garage. You need 5 habits. First, treat the 12-volt battery as the hero of the connected era. Have it tested at service visits, not just when it dies. A modern connected truck punishes a marginal battery far faster than an old one did. If it's on the way out, replace it with the correct spec. These trucks are calibrated around their battery type. Second, and here's the irony of the whole video, install your software updates. The cure for software-related drain has repeatedly been better software. Ford's sleep mode and gateway improvements ship as updates. A truck stuck 6 versions behind is running the buggy nap schedule, not the fixed one. Third, set updates up for success. Connect the truck to your home Wi-Fi, schedule updates for convenient times, and let them finish. Interrupted, failing, retrying updates are exactly the wake cycle churn you're trying to avoid. Fourth, if your truck sits for long stretches, help it out. A quality battery maintainer for a truck parked weeks at a time is cheap insurance and worth considering for a seldom-driven toy or a work truck between seasons. Fifth, know the early warnings. Repeated dead batteries with no obvious cause. Updates that persistently fail. Battery warnings after the truck has been parked. Flickering electrics. Those symptoms deserve a battery test, a parasitic draw check, and if the charging behavior seems off, that ripple test in that order. 9 times out of 10 in this story, the battery and the software are the culprits long before the alternator is. Your truck isn't plotting against its own alternator. It's just a computer network wearing a pickup body, and like every computer you've ever owned, it behaves best when its software is current and its power supply is healthy. So, has your Ford ever pulled the 3 a.m. meeting routine on you? Dead battery? Failed update? Mystery no start? Tell us in the comments, and tell us what fixed it. We might feature your story in our next video. And if this video helped you understand what your truck gets up to while you're asleep, smash that like button and subscribe for more auto insights. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.